You feel it part? Did you feel anything from that?
It felt kind of like warm the second time.
Sometimes what you get is they get a little tingling, they can feel something, or if they've got a lot of fillings in their mouth, they may get a metallic taste. And they're better not to have any jewellery on as well.
Okay.
Right, so they wouldn't have like watches, big chains and things like that.
It's affected. Yeah.
Because you're using electrical current. Did I put that little? I put that little bit. Minus these. So what we'll do this time is we'll use the gel without the gauze, but we need to keep our eyes covered. So what I would do with the cotton pads is just slightly dampen them and put them on. Do you want to dampen them slightly?
Oh.
Yeah, what to do?
And I need to
You can
wash
put
it again. Oh no.
Down. I know I've wet them, but don't have any oils in your lashes, so we're fine. You okay there?
Yeah.
Right, try and get that to stay. That's the downside of it because you get the lashes off.
Okay.
Right. So this is your antiphoresis gel. And the machine's just exactly the same again. Put it on negative to start with, then change it to positive. It's just the same.
Okay.
It's easy. So your galvanic machines might look, there's lots of different types out there. If you look online, you'll get to see different types of machine. There could be ones that are slightly bigger, they look a different shape. It's just a different company, different maker. I actually saw these used overseas, like this style, where you can actually put them into a trolley where they're all one on top of the other. So and it can be stored away tidy in the corner or something like that.
You don't need to use that.
There are some machines out there.
No, it's because
You
we
can
don't
just put it onto the skin because it's going to moisturise. What was I going to say there? There's other combi machines as well that you might see that we've got the facial brushes attached or the facial scrapers, and a lot of the time they get like a microdermabrasion attachment as well, or they might have Galvanic or Faradic or something like that. So those can be bought, and they're not overly expensive, and some salons will have them as well. So they've got everything there. Right, that's great. Plenty. Oh right, I was going to show you something, wasn't I? I forgot to do.
Yeah.
Right, what to do? Put that back down. I'll show. I'm going to. This is a wee added extra. Right. Right. So.
I think, oh yeah, things falling off again.
How is it from Mesotrope?
Right. You open that. I know. Excuse the size of the syringes; they're enormous, right? So what we're going to do is, I'm going to get you to draw this up, some of it, and then we'll put it in there and mix it up with some gel, and then just put it onto your skin.
All of them?
I'll just half. You don't need it all. Right. So.
And what's
So
that?
it's all nice and sterile.
That's vitamin or something.
They don't.
What's on this one, Mary?
This one's actually, I think it's a combi one, so it's actually good for this type of skin, but it's also good for fine lines as well. So would you take that off right now? Will I do this and then show you how to? Right. Right. Look at the size of the needle. This is a dagger.
I
Right.
never used
Right.
it.
This is really just to show you girls so that you can actually, if you're ever going to use a meso or if you go on training, so you're just holding it slightly to the side and then moving it. I've put that air into that plunger. Right, hold on. Right, and then you're just drawing it back. But what I've done is because I've applied air into it, it's not going to be the best. But anyway, if we hold it to the side and you just try and draw it up. No, I'm going to take that out and just put it back in. Right, hold on. I've ruined it. There. If you've got to tugging it quite. Do you want to try it?
Yeah.
Right. Just be careful. Don't want you to pull it out and stab your hand with it. Get it out. Is it coming? Right. Make sure the needle is below the liquid line.
Oh.
Right, that would do. Right. So just leave it there. Right. Pull that out. Right. And then you want to put that back on there. And then just peel that off. That would be dumped normally, right? So you squish that into your bowl. Right, so we'll get rid of all that. I'm just going to dump that now. Put some more gel in there and mix it up together. Yeah, see, and then, is it a wee bit? Just put it on, that's fine. Just put some up, don't you do it about. So this now will be introduced into the skin and we'll leave it on the skin. Right.
Does look like moisturizing or something.
Pardon?
This product is moisturizer or vitamin, what's that?
Yeah, it will have a combination of different ingredients within it. Usually they've got some sort of nutrients that help feed the skin.
Okay.
And then there's a lot of different ones as well that you can buy that's out in the market. So like I said, that company, I get them from Julia Armand. And there's lots of different types for different skin issues. So you can get them for fine line and wrinkles, or you can have a whitening effect with some of them. Things like spotty skins, so any type of skin issue they can deal with. Pigmentation, that kind of thing. Sensitive skin, get it for that as well. Dry skin, dehydrated, different kinds. And then you would just use the one that best suits your client. So you can mix it. Now you don't have to put it on with a gel. Right, in some circumstances, if you're doing non-surgical, you don't need a gel. You can actually put that straight onto the skin and just use your machine. But with this one, you really need a gel. Okay. Right, so that's you. So Paul will hold that then. Is it right, negative? Oh no, it's on the right one. Put it to N, keep rolling. That's it, negative. That's it. That's you. Okay, then just turn it on. That's it. Now some, you can start at the top or the bottom. Some people prefer to start at the jawline, work on the neck first and work their way up. Traditionally when we're doing facial work, we usually start at the bottom and work our way up. The reason behind it is because you don't want to work against the facial contours. You don't want to drag the skin down. So normally you're kind of working and you're kind of working up the way. Yeah.
Always necessary to working on the neck? Or?
Yeah, so you can work on the décolleté area. You can do, if you're working, the pairs not get their top on, you can work on the chest area. Actually, that's what we need to be doing anyway because we want to be doing body at the same time. So we'll see how that goes, but you really want to be working on the décolleté. We'll class that as the body. There is a different style of Galvanic for the body. It uses a pad, and you have a positive, negative pad. So if you're working on, say, cellulite or something on the leg, a positive and a negative, and that's how that one works. We're not using that though. Right, we're just going to use this one. But the size behind it is the same. Right.
It looks hard.
So obviously for this unit we have to look at the whole facial structure at this stage. So we're learning the facial bones, the bones of the skull. We're looking at the muscles of the face as well. It's something you need to know all the way through, even when you get to massage. But by the time you've got to massage, you will know a lot of it. A lot of the anatomy is the same. So not only just for the face now, we have to now start learning the body as well. So next week when we come in, I'll go through the first outcome for facial and body, and then we'll try and get a bit of anatomy done as well. That's quite a lot, might take longer than an hour. But these girls have already started on their anatomy for the face because they've done level 2. So absolutely fine. That can be the hardest part because it's the terminology. That's the names of things.
It's better. Looks very professional.
But it's good to know.
Yeah, it's better.
Definitely. Especially when you do massage and you're working on the body. Yeah.
You're right.
Makes you a better therapist
Yeah.
if you've got that background knowledge.
Yeah, I prefer to be more harder than easy.
Yeah, definitely.
It's better. But that's when you told me it's easy, but it's not easy. It's not easy.
So when you're working, I mean, obviously we try and refrain from talking to the client. You get some clients that you know that will just want to talk the whole time, but when they're having a facial, they're better to have their eyes closed and try and relax to some form. But you can ask if you're using a machine, does that feel okay? Because the last thing you want is for their skin to feel really irritated or for it to look really red. That's what's called a contraction. So that's occurred because of something that you've done or you're doing. It could be the product, it could be the machine. So that has to be all taken off and stopped, right? So that's why we're asking. As long as they feel comfortable.
Yeah.
Some people might feel really nervous with this, especially if they're kind of claustrophobic. But you know, for some people they couldn't sit there and have that done. I know as a student I felt nervous because another student was doing it on me. But it's good as a student to feel it and get a sense of what it's all about, so that when you go to do it, it'll be a bit easier.
But you should keep asking, are you okay?
You
Everything is
could do,
fine.
yeah. I think if you do ask questions and you come across, you know what you're talking about, your client's going to feel a lot more confident in you, and they will come back. You know that.
Well, this one I felt it tingled on the skin. You could feel it.
does.
It wasn't
But that's
much,
normal.
but just a nice little tingle. So you knew something. You could feel something happening.
And sometimes that's a good thing, because if they lie there and don't feel anything, they'll be thinking, is it working?
What's she doing?
Have I switched on?
When
Told
you
the
use
girls.
that, what happened in the skin?
So this is being introduced into the skin,
Uh-huh.
right? But then what you're going to do at the end is you're going to close the pores again, and if there's any residue product, you're just going to massage it in and leave it on, right? So you wouldn't have to traditionally put a moisturiser on the skin after this. You could add a serum, another serum, and then definitely an SPF on the skin afterwards,
Yeah.
because you're using electrical current. There is aftercare advice that they need to follow when they're finished. You want to leave the products on the skin for a few hours to let it penetrate and work. They can't sit in direct sunlight, right, because their skin would burn. They shouldn't be doing things like swimming bath because you're using chlorine. Anything too hot in the skin is going to irritate it now because you've taken all the dead skin cells off, right?
Massage before it is better or after?
Yes, you would do massage. So what you could have done, if you want to make this treatment longer, you could have done a facial steam beforehand. When you've done the first disincrustation and you've taken that off the skin, that would be a good time then to do the massage. So do all your facial massage, take that off the skin, and then put your anti-phoresis on, and then you could put a serum on, an SPF, and that's it done. The whole thing, if you take your time, if you're doing this for real with a client, you want to be taking at least 45 minutes. So you would possibly have to introduce something else on there, or you could do a massage, facial massage. So they're getting a bit of relaxation as well.
Oh, you mean we should be doing massage before the anti-freezing?
Yes,
Before
before it, yeah.
Okay.
Because at the end of the day, some massage creams you have to take off the skin. Some companies do one that you don't have to take off. So I use Dermaquest, and you don't have to take it off, right? But with others you would. And because you're doing an anti-phoresis, if you were to leave something on the skin, it could get really tacky. And this might not be as effective, right? So your massage cream I would take off.
Okay.
Right, my dear, do you want to put that to positive now?
Yeah.
That's it. Good. Right, so that's now going to close all the pores off, and this is near the end of the treatment. So what you would then do when you're finished, take off your gloves and then just massage it in.
Okay.
Right, do it that way. get you to do it on Zora, right?
Yeah.
Talk you through it.
But you need to help me.
I mean, it would be really relaxing for your client, this. You know, nah,
it's not relaxing.
I doubt it. There's a lot of things like that when you're using electrical currents and things. I think if you were doing non-surgical, then yes, because with that, you're better to sit yourself down, and it's quite a good, nice treatment for you to do because it means you can just sit and relax. Especially if you've got a busy day ahead and you've got a combination of different treatments, especially doing massage where, you know, using a bit of muscle there and you're on your feet. So it's nice to be able to sit down. So it is, yeah. I mean, you could sit down and do that. I think because we're learning just now, it's better to stand.
Better to stand.
This area we can do more.
Yes,
This treatment
Mm-hmm.
because it has some spot and
Yeah.
ball.
And I think you've just put the right amount of gel on as well, because if you put too much, you're going to have too much product on the face. If that happens, then you can blot some of it off. Right, that would do. Right, so then just turn off the red button. Right, that's you. So you put them down. Machines off. Right, so you can take your iPads off, and you can take your gloves off now as well. Your eyelashes.
You're coming off?
No,
No. Yeah.
that's just fine.
Yeah.
Just massage it in. Have you had them in long?
What, my eyelashes?
Yeah.
No, they're not in finger ones, but
Ah,
they're just like individuals that I put on myself. But they usually
Right.
last like a week or so, but I thought the water would have at least kind of shifted them.
and just massage it around the neck as well. So you just. Right, so that's good. I'll get you some SPA. Let's use this one. It's nice. Right, you don't.
Is this beer?
You don't need a lot. You can't put too much of that on. It's got zinc in there, and if you put too much on, it just takes forever to try and get it. And you'll find the darker the skin, the more noticeable it is because it looks silvery.
Yeah.
The zinc in there.
Which factor is it? 50?
It's a 30.
30.
That one.
And should be tell client keep going for SPF.
Yeah. And then that's one of the things we can talk about in aftercare is that they should try and get into the habit of using it every day, even though if it's not sunny. And then obviously if they're away on holiday somewhere where it's really, really hot, then usually an SPF 50. Yeah. But David can explain the difference between the 30s and 50s because there's actually not an awful lot of difference in them.
It's good.
Right, that's you, so we'll take that off and then we'll set the client up.
You enjoy it?
Do you want to give her an aftercare advice?
Oh,
Do you want to tell her what to do and what not to do?
No swimming. Sunbed. Drink
Lots of water.
plenty water.
Yeah.
And don't wash your face for a few hours. Yeah. And don't heavy makeup. And yeah.
Okay, great stuff. And then you can tell them when to return as well.
You
Maybe
can
2
like
weeks.
one